to listen to the presentation, but everyone will be muted to avoid static and some background interference. There's a dialog box on the bottom of your control panel. You can type questions into the dialog box as we're going along, and we'll try to get them answered later in the presentation or via email following the webinar. The webinar is being recorded, so links to the recording and the handouts will be sent to you in 2 to 3 business days after the webinar. So let's go ahead and we can get started. The main goal today is to make sure you're familiar with Action for Healthy Kids Game On program to use it to enhance your school's wellness initiatives. We'll first give you a bit of background on Action for Healthy Kids, and then we'll talk through each of the 6 steps of Game On. We'll provide you with resources and ideas for each step throughout the webinar. Let's get started. First, I just want to give you a little background on Action for Healthy Kids. Action for Healthy Kids fights childhood obesity, undernourishment, and physical inactivity by helping schools become healthier places. We're moms, dads, teachers, students, school and community leaders, and school wellness experts who have banded together to create healthier learning environments for our children. We believe that everyone has a part to play in ending the nation's childhood obesity epidemic, and our programs, tools, and resources make that possible. We were founded in 2002 by former Surgeon General David Satcher. Today we have more than 90,000 members and constituents in our network. We also partner with dozens of professional associations, government agencies, and corporations at the national and local levels. The Game On program was developed to support schools, staff, students, and families in incorporating healthy food choices and physical activity into their daily lives and the school environment, with the ultimate goal of getting nationally recognized as a health-promoting school. And based on our work with other schools that we use the Game On program with, we found that schools can go from starting a brand new school health team to getting nationally recognized as health promoting in about 3 years or less. However, it doesn't matter where your school is with your school wellness initiative, whether you are just starting a school health team or you've been implementing wellness initiatives for a few years. Game On can serve as a tool to provide you with resources and ideas to continually improve your wellness programming. Game On can also be used to complement other programs your school may already have in place. Game On is designed to actually be like your one-stop shop for all school wellness. So, Game On really strives to help students learn about and practice those habits of sound nutrition and physical activity. Game On engages students in making better food choices, including fruits and veggies, whole grains, and low-fat and fat-free milk products at school and at home. It also focuses on engaging students in getting more physical activity before, during, and after school. You'll find more than 70 eat more or eat better and move more activity ideas that include resources, ideas, and tips for implementing at your school. It also provides schools with a framework and access to tools to integrate health concepts and activities throughout the school year. This framework can be used to complement other wellness initiatives or programs that you already have in your school. You can also engage educators, school staff, family, and community members in helping students eat better and move more, because everyone has a role in school wellness. Lastly, it can support long-term school wellness policies by promoting sound nutrition and physical activity throughout the school campus. Game On provides strategies and ideas to help you put your school's district local school wellness policy into action. As I've mentioned, Game On is flexible to meet your school's needs. So on your screen, you'll see several examples of how you can use Game On to inform your school wellness program. You can use Game On activities when just starting your school wellness program, or daily with announcements or brain breaks, as well as by selecting activities that best meet school goals and capacity. You choose how you want to use Game On. I'll now take a minute to show you guys how to navigate the website. So, to access Game On, first open a web browser and navigate to www.actionpolicykids.org. And once you arrive, you'll click on the tab at the top of the site that says Tools for Schools. It's circled in red on your screen. For future reference, this is also where you can find information about school grants, improving wellness policies, and engaging volunteers in your school wellness initiatives. So on the next slide, you can see that once you've clicked on the Tools for Schools tab, you'll click on Game On Program on the right-hand side of the page, again circled in red, and then this will take you to the Game On website. Once you've arrived at the Game On website, feel free to explore. On the right-hand side, you'll see each step of the Game On listed. If a school wellness program is relatively new to your school, we definitely recommend that you start at step 1, which is gather your team. This is where you'll find resources and information for gathering a strong and diverse school health team to actually lead your school wellness efforts. Regardless of how advanced your school wellness efforts are, this is a great place to start at the beginning of the year to establish the infrastructure for your programming. From there, we suggest navigating through the remaining steps to make sure your efforts are aligned with your school's needs and strengths, resulting in a sustainable program. Once you click on one of the steps, you will be prompted to log in. It's free and easy to register, and it only takes about a minute. By logging in, it helps us understand how Game On is being used and helps us plan for improving the program as well. We'll explore each of the steps throughout the webinar today. Alternatively, if you're just looking for activity ideas, simply click on a room in the school blueprint for instant resources. Each Game On, Eat Better, and Move More activity is housed in the school blueprint. The school blueprint represents step 4 of Game On, which is find activities. Let's do a quick example just to show all of you what it looks like when you click on a room. If I click on the room for classroom, here's what happens. You'll see a full list of Eat Better and Move More activities that are appropriate for implementing in the classroom or might be useful for a classroom teacher. A few examples you'll see on your screen include Rethink Your Drink, Screen-Free Week, Active Indoor Recess, as well as Songs and Stories of Movement. So you'll click on the Get Started to see the full list of activity ideas and resources related to that particular activity. Now that you're more familiar with Game On website, let's take a moment to highlight the various steps of Game On. As I mentioned, we recommend following the 6 steps to ensure you build a strong, sustainable school health and wellness program. This is where the flexibility comes in. If you already have a diverse school health team in place, you can definitely skip step 1 and start with step 2. It's designated really to meet you guys where you are. The first 3 steps are listed on your screen. Step 1, gather your team, which is identifying volunteers for school staff to parents to community members to serve on the team. Action for Healthy Kids recommends that you include at least 5 members on your team to make sure that you have the capacity to implement your initiative. Step 2, assess and track progress. Assess the health of the school environment using the School Health Index to identify areas of needed improvement. Step 3, create and implement an action plan. A clear action plan will serve as a roadmap for the wellness team and outline priorities and goals. After completing the School Health Index, you'll receive an auto-generated action plan that provides recommendations for how you can use Game On to improve upon areas of needed improvement. Going on to step 4, find activities. You use the Game On School print that we just reviewed to identify activities and resources that line up with your school needs. Step 5 is to engage families and community. So partner with parents, volunteers, and community organizations on school wellness initiatives to promote consistent messages and ensure sustainability. And then lastly, step 6, receive recognition. Apply for recognition through the Healthier U.S. School Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms initiative. We'll talk a little bit more about this initiative later in the webinar. So let's take some time to walk through each of the steps. We'll start with step 1, gather your team. This is the step that outlines key steps to building a school health team, recruiting team members, developing and conducting meetings. It also provides resources for understanding your district's wellness policy and tips related to building successful school health teams. So we'll dive a little bit deeper into the content. For those of you who already have an active school health team, you know the importance of working together to get these things done. So parents, teachers, students, school leaders, and community members can make a lasting impact when we combine all of our efforts. The key to providing children with consistent messages around health, nutrition, and physical activity is working together and having a plan. Dr. David Thatcher, Action for Healthy Kids founding chair, said, "There is no limit to what we can achieve when we combine with the right people." This is very important to consider as you grow your school health team. So, what is a school health team? In very general terms, school health teams exist to make schools healthier. Their work may include identifying healthy goals, developing a vision and goal, leading projects or programs that promote health, raising funds to support programs, measuring the impact of programs, promoting and celebrating successful health initiatives, and developing resources to help others replicate their successes. At the district level, teams work on a larger scale that have an impact across many schools, and at the school level, teams work on projects that have an impact just on that particular school. Parents, teachers, administrators, school staff, youth, board members, and community members can all be a part of the school health team. Whether you're just getting started or you've been active for a while, make sure you have your elevator speech ready, or elevator pitch. So, why do you want to start a wellness team? Or, why are you asking people to join with you? If you're just getting started, identify other champions to help you lead the committee. PE teachers, school nurses, passionate parents. If there's already another group working on health-related activities, a school garden, or even a walk to school initiative, see if they'd like to join with you. Wellness initiatives will have more power and more momentum if they're promoted together under one umbrella. Also, get the principal's approval and buy-in at the highest possible level of commitment, both to form your committee and for your projects. At a minimum, he or she needs to be aware of and give his or her approval for what you're doing. If you can get their public support, that's even better. The most ideal situation is that your principal becomes an active participant on the wellness team, but obviously take whatever you can get and go with it. So next, invite teachers and school staff, parents, community members to join the team. Speak at a staff or PTA meeting. You could ask the principal and staff to recommend potential members. Use your school's regular communication channels. Some people may be shy about getting involved due to cultural differences or other reasons. Give these people personal verbal invitations to get them involved. People like it when you invite them personally to do something. Then ask them if they'll actually invite others that they know who are willing to join. Include key players or influencers in the school. That could be a PTA leader, someone from the accountability committee. Invite students' input and participation as well, and be clear about their roles and expectations. They might not want to come to standing meetings, but they might want to take a role in another way, as a member of a student focus group or even promoting the message through student channels. Engaging parents in your community to support your team's work may be one of your biggest and most critical challenges. If you're having trouble bringing school leaders and teachers on board with your activities, it might be because of the pushback they'll get from parents. That's why it's so important to include members of your parent committee or community on your team. Not just volunteers, but as leaders and decision makers. So next, we have tips for a successful meeting. First, plan regular meetings at times that are convenient for people who are interested in being on your committee. If possible, offer childcare and healthy snacks or meals. Make sure that you create a welcoming environment at every meeting. Little things like greeting each person, smiling, and making eye contact can really go a long way. Provide name tags can also be beneficial so that you and others can even address people by their name. You can also offer opportunities for conversation and interaction. People will feel more invested if they develop relationships with other people that are on your health team. Always have a focused agenda and send it out in advance and actually stick to it. I know this can be extremely difficult for people, but you include a start and end time for the meeting, and then be sure to actually start and end on that time. People will definitely appreciate it. If people feel like the meetings are a waste of time, then they typically stop attending. Also, you can accomplish as much as possible with emails and phone calls, but note that for some communities, email is not the most widely used method to communicate. So do what is actually best for your own community. And then lastly, consider forming subcommittees, if needed, to help split up the work to do different projects. So now we're going to move on to step 2 and step 3 of Game On, which focus on assessing and tracking progress and creating and implementing an action plan. We're going to discuss these 2 steps together, since the results of your school assessment will be used to guide the creation of your action plan. So why do we do a wellness assessment? Although it can be tempting to just jump right in and start your project, there are many good reasons to start with an assessment. It will enable your team to, first, develop relationships with key staff. Hopefully you've already been doing this, but the assessment provides another reason to communicate and work together. Second, it will help you determine your school's strengths and weaknesses. Third, it will help you define goals that really suit your school's needs. Hopefully at some point these goals will go into the school wellness policy or school improvement plan. Next, it will help you justify your decisions to make changes. And then finally, it will help you document starting points in order to show progress over time. This will be very important down the road, as it will enable you to show that your efforts have achieved measurable results and will help to create sustainability for the long term. Also, data is always useful to have for funding requests, especially grants, so just keep that in mind. Action for Healthy Kids recommends that you use the School Health Index, also known as the SHE, as your assessment tool. So Action for Healthy Kids has adopted the School Health Index, which is an online assessment tool developed by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The 2014 SHE guides school-based obesity prevention and health promotion efforts. Action for Healthy Kids has worked closely with the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to offer an abbreviated online version of the SHE to schools as a unified assessment tool to guide school-based obesity prevention and health promotion efforts. There are 8 modules in the School Health Index: health education, physical education, health services, nutrition services, counseling and psychological and social services, healthy school environment, health promotion for staff, and lastly, family and community involvement. And each module has a number of questions that assess how well your school is implementing that particular module. Action for Healthy Kids version of the School Health Index is shorter than the CDC's sheet, as we have adopted only specific questions from all 8 modules. So next, we're going to talk about how to use it. If you want to go to the next slide, Ellen. There we go. To use Action for Healthy Kids online version of the SHE, you'd simply just have to go to step 2 of Game On, where you'll click on the Access the Action for Healthy Kids School Health Index. This will take you to the Action for Healthy Kids School portal, which is on the right of your screen, where you'll be prompted to log in. It's completely free to create a login, and multiple people from your school health team can create access to the portal. So this is great because it means that you guys can all divide and conquer. The Action for Healthy Kids School Health Index is available free to any school that wishes to use it. We recommend that you complete the assessment once per year to see where you and your school should focus your efforts. This also helps you track progress over time. Assessment results can also be used to secure grant funding for schools, like I mentioned earlier. After your school completes the School Health Index modules, you will receive a report and links to online resources based on your answers. So on your screen, here's the example of a report for the first module, which asks questions about the school health and safety policies and environment. After, or as you can see at the top, the report will show you a graph that summarizes how you responded to each question in the module. That way you can get an overall feel for how you scored on that particular set of questions. Each question is scored on a scale of 0 to 3, with 3 actually being the highest score. At the bottom of the report, you'll highlight a few questions where you can improve your score and provide with some resources. In addition to receiving a report for each module, your school will also receive an auto-generated action plan. So specific action items based on your SHE responses will pre-populate the plan to help your school wellness team focus on areas where you could improve. To access the action plan, you simply just click on the View Action Plan icon, which again is circled in green. After you click on the View Action button, you'll see something that looks like this example action plan on your screen. As you can see, you will receive activity recommendations based, again, on your assessment results, and Game On activity ideas that can really help you implement those actual ideas or those action items. So, for example, if your school scores low on the physical activity module, you will receive a number of Game On activity ideas to help increase physical activity opportunities at your school. This can help your school stay focused on the needed area of improvement. What's really great about the action plan is that it can also be customized with additional action items that your school wants to add to the plan. So if you know your school wants to host your annual health fair, for example, you can click on Add an Action, which is located inside the red circle, and type in all the information related to your annual health fair. It's very flexible to meet your own needs. So why create an action plan? Taking the time to think through a plan really provides so many benefits. Team camaraderie, first off, the process helps with the process of developing an action plan together. So this will really make everyone feel more invested in what you guys are preparing to do for this school year. The next one is group brainstorming. Each member of your team brings different skills to the table. Your plans will almost certainly be better throughout when everyone creates them together. Next, clear communication. A plan will help everyone to understand the project's goals, know what he or she is expected to do, and then by when. It helps when delegating specific activities so that one person doesn't feel like overwhelmed or that they have to do it all themselves. This really eliminates confusion and potential conflicts. And lastly, a timeline. It is powerful to have down on paper. We will accomplish specific tasks by specific date. It creates a sense of urgency and keeps everyone going so that the projects don't stand still or start to stall. So right now I'm going to pause really quick and just check in with Ellen to see if there's any questions.
Hi, Jocelyn. We only have one question thus far, so if you guys can make sure that you put your question in question box. But the question was related to the version, our version of the School Health Index, and it is the CDC online abbreviated version of the School Health Index on your website. So it is the abbreviated version, and yes, it's located on our website. And you can get there. We'll remind everybody how to get there towards the end too.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you want to add there, Jocelyn?
Nope. We'll remind you at the end, but just so you guys know for right now, it's located under Step 2 of Game On.
And that's it for now.
Perfect. Alrighty. We'll move on to activity ideas for Eating Better and Moving More. We can spend the next few minutes discussing strategies, ideas, and activities your school can implement to build or enhance your school wellness program. Keep in mind that each of the activities that we discussed today can be added to your action plan. So your action plan will be your team's guide to help you stay focused and keep your ideas organized and realistic. So as you can see, Step 4 of Game On is called Find Activities. This is the area of Game On site that includes those resources, ideas, and tip sheets to really help you implement your school wellness activities. Content in Game On is always being updated and refreshed, so visit often to see what new resources are available. As I mentioned earlier in the training, all the activities in Game On are organized in the school print like you see on your screen. This blueprint showcases various rooms of the school building, so you can search for activities based on which area of school you want to make healthier. Example activities you'll find include host a taste test, breakfast in the classroom, healthy fundraising, healthy school store, school garden, recess at home, or even like playground circuit challenges. So if we move on, you can see, we'll start to talk through how the Game On activities are actually structured. On the screen you can see it starts out with a quick overview, take action, tips, engaging volunteers, and additional resources. The overview section describes what the activity is and why it's important. It provides the background information needed to understand what the activity is all about. The Take Action section provides easy ways to implement the activity or the steps necessary to start the program. For example, if you're looking at the nutrition education activity, it will suggest various ways you can implement nutrition education throughout your school building. If you are reviewing the breakfast in the classroom activity, it will walk you through each step you should take to implement a successful breakfast in the classroom program. The tips section provides a reminder of things to remember to make or to help the activity to make it a success. The Engage Volunteer section reinforces that volunteers such as parents, college students, and community members are key to the success of school wellness initiatives. They really bring that energy and capacity and new ideas to your school wellness program. Each Game On activity includes specific ideas on how volunteers can be of support in that particular activity. And then finally, the additional resources section links out to evidence-based resources that can be used to support the activity. These resources may include tip sheets, templates that can be modified, or even links to other resources that help you implement the activity. So if we go on, within each room of the school building, activities are organized by Eat Better or Move More activities. So we'll first start talking about the Eat Better during the school day, which focuses on strategies to create a healthy school food culture. So we'll start by talking about the benefits. A healthy school food culture supports classroom lessons. Food policies and practices reflect curriculum standards for health and nutrition rather than conflict with them. A healthy school food culture encourages consumption of nutrient-rich food and contributes to good health. Students are less likely to suffer from conditions such as obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and cavities. A healthy school food culture publicly demonstrates a school's commitment to promoting healthy behaviors among its students, families, and staff, sending the message that health is top priority. And lastly, a healthy school food culture creates excitement about nutrition. With nutritious foods and when they are present in a fun, engaging way, students are eager to get involved. So we'll talk real quick some of the best practices. The activities in Game On align with a few best practices that we recommend whenever we talk about making a healthier school food culture. For example, making healthy options standard wherever possible. So parties, fundraisers, school events, celebrations, in and outside the classroom. This can also include snack times, school stores, vending machines, and athletic events. The next one to keep in mind is that food doesn't have to always be the primary focus or even included in every event. So host active events which promote physical activity along with music, art, and games. How about like something around an active fundraiser like a hippity hopathon, which is actually pictured on the slide from an elementary school in Ohio. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or administrator, provide students with non-food rewards for good behavior and performance. Special privileges and trinkets both fit the bill. Next. Game On can help your school make healthy options standard whenever food are shared. So on the slide, you'll see a few Game On activities that are designed to provide you with ideas for how you can make your celebrations and events healthier. So we have healthy and active parties, healthy fundraisers, healthy and active non-food rewards, offer healthy snacks, family fun days, host a taste test, health and wellness fair. So for example, the healthy and active parties activity has ideas for making Valentine's Day, Halloween, and graduation healthier. Action for Healthy Kids also has a number of tip sheets that provide resources to help you share healthier foods at school. These tip sheets are available in English and in Spanish and can be found within their corresponding Game On activity. Increase opportunities for nutrition education, supplement with what is being taught in the classroom throughout the school gardens or healthy snack programs, taste tests, healthy vending, and school stores. So how about offering health tips in your school newsletter or even bringing in special workshops for students and families. Game On can also help your school work with your school nutrition staff and integrate nutrition education into all areas of the school building. On this slide, you'll see a few Game On activities that are designed to provide you with ideas for improving nutrition and nutrition education at your school. For example, the nutrition education activity has links to free evidence-based curricula, lessons, and worksheets you can use to reinforce those nutrition education messages. Additional Action Healthy Kids tip sheets include nutrition promotion, food sales, and healthy food ideas. Again, these tip sheets can be found in the Game On activity that corresponds with the tip sheet topic. So now we'll move on to moving more during the school day. So if we move on, we'll see that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends 60 minutes of daily moderate to vigorous physical activity for school-age children. SHAPE America, formerly the American Alliance for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance, recommends that all schools implement a comprehensive school physical activity program, which really addresses the following 5 components: high-quality physical education, physical activity during the school, physical activity before and after school, staff involvement, and then finally family and community engagement. It allows schools to have comprehensive, coordinated approach to physical activity at school. Keep in mind that when we're talking about being active in schools, 2 terms are often used: physical activity and physical education, or PE. It's important to understand that these terms are not interchangeable. But physical education is a class where students learn the benefits, skills, training principles of physical activity. For example, during a basketball lesson or unit in PE, students spend time learning the rules of the game and practicing skills specific to that sport, such as shooting or passing. Physical activity is anything that gets your body moving, so walking, biking, sports, dance, or even house cleaning. All children are entitled to quality physical education and physical activity opportunities. Special consideration should be given to those with particular physical activity needs and who are at risk for sedentary lifestyles. So this could be children with chronic illnesses, physical and other disabilities, as well as those who are overweight. So make your recess fitness breaks, before and after school clubs and programs inclusive so that children with special needs and typically developing children can participate side by side. So assess the ability needs of your students. Some may need few adaptations while others may require substantial assistance from peer helpers or adults. Most activities can be modified to ensure that all students can join in the experience and recap the benefits. For the Move More activities in Game On, there are inclusion tips that provide strategies for adapting the activity to include students with mobility, sensory, and social, psychological needs, which is great. So SHAPE America recommends that schools provide 20 minutes of recess per day, yet up to 40% of U.S. school districts have reduced or eliminated recess in order to free up more time for core academics. And 1 in 4 elementary schools no longer provide recess to all grades. Research has shown that recess helps students to focus and learn better, so we know that scaling it back comes at a cost to actual learning. Game On can also help your school improve activity opportunities during recess. So on the slide, you'll see a few Game On activities that are designed to provide you with ideas for increasing activity levels during indoor and outdoor recess. For example, the Playground Circuit Challenge provides activity stations to host a structured and active recess. Classroom activity breaks activate the brain, improve on task behavior, and leave students more focused and ready to return to their academic activities. They can be as simple as the teacher or student leading a round of jumping jacks or even just stretches. There are lots of fun and creative ways to include classroom activity breaks in daily schedule, and there are lots of resources to help your school. Your team can share these resources with your teachers and administrators and talk to them about the importance of movement in the classroom as part of a comprehensive physical activity program. Game On can also help your school improve activity opportunities during class time. On this slide, you'll see a few Game On activities that are designed to provide you with ideas for creating movement during class. This can come in the form of doing exercises during transition times or integrating movement into your lesson plan. For example, songs and stories with movement is a great activity to integrate during the literacy block, as long as it provides examples of songs and stories where students can move along as the song is sung or the book is read. Out of school time programs and through sports and physical activity clubs and walk or bike to school programs are really good strategies as well. School health team members can research options and organize these type of events. Game On can actually help you in your school improve activity options before and after school. So on the slide, you'll see a few Game On activities that are designed to provide you with ideas for hosting before and or after school physical activity programs. For example, if you look at the fitness classes, they're really a great way to engage students and their families in physical activity. The photo on the slide shows a school in Chicago, Illinois that hosted a spin class for 8th grade students and their families. In 1969, 48% of children 5 to 14 years of age usually walked or biked to school. In contrast, by 2009, only 13% walked or biked to school. Game On can also help your school improve activity opportunities during the commute to and from school. On this slide, you see a few Game On activities that are designed to support safe route to school activities. These activities could be one-time activities such as a celebration of International Walk to School Day in October, or even ongoing initiatives such as a walking school bus that meets every Wednesday before school. So next we'll focus on step 5, which is engaging families and communities. Partners, so partner with parents, volunteers, and community organizations on school wellness initiatives to promote consistent messages and ensure sustainability. Engaging these types of volunteers has a wide range of benefits, and you can rely on volunteers in varying degrees and in many ways. For the next, so you can see, regardless of the actual tasks that volunteers do, all volunteers have at least one thing in common. The time, energy, and resources they bring can be critically important for a successful outcome. Volunteers bring a lot of value to the table. Advantages of engaging volunteers include many volunteers have specialized knowledge or skills that can be useful to complement or enhance their efforts. Volunteers can provide a new and different perspective and bring in fresh energy. Volunteers can provide a lasting impact and contribution. So like the more people that get involved, the easier it is to gain additional support for your work. And then finally, volunteers save money and can do a lot of good work for little to no cost. So because of the enormous amount of help potentially available from volunteers, an important question to ask is, how can we best tap into this resource? Volunteers typically have a motivation for getting involved. Keep these motivations in mind when you're recruiting for volunteers. So people volunteer because it meets their personal needs, they want to share their expert skills or knowledge, or maybe want to gain additional professional experience. People volunteer because of friendships or social aspects and because they have the time and availability to do so. And typically when one person is involved, ask them to bring along a friend next time to engage even more volunteers. And the last motivation is the strongest level of commitment. People volunteer because they have a passion for the cause, organization, and work being done. So it's important to keep all of these factors in mind when looking to involve or strengthen volunteer engagement. In order to engage volunteers successfully, it must be a mutual partnership between you and the volunteers. A bit of initial planning can pay dividends when it comes to recruiting and involving volunteers. First, keep in mind who you're targeting as a volunteer. Each group will likely have different motivations for getting involved, and you'll want to slightly change your communication tactics with each individual group. Second, when engaging volunteers, you have the ability to do much more with limited resources. But keep in mind the need you are wanting to fulfill. So here are a few things just to remember. Let volunteers know exactly what is expected in terms of their time commitment, and of course be mindful of their time. Assure the volunteer task is appropriate and the volunteer is comfortable performing the task that you have asked them to do. Make sure the volunteer is valued. Explain how their task relates back to the bigger picture or end goal, and that their involvement is an important piece to the success. Also remember that small incentives like offering healthy refreshments to volunteers and just saying thank you can go a long way. And then finally, communication with volunteers is vital. Make sure volunteers know exactly what the needs are, what the task is, and who can answer questions they have throughout their involvement. Think about who is in your network, has skills or interests that complements your needs. Then start to brainstorm with your health and wellness team to engage individuals, organizations, or businesses as volunteers to really help meet those needs. If you need help getting started, Game On activities include ideas on how to get volunteers involved. When you're successfully engaged volunteers, they can be terrific champions to really achieve those team goals that you write on your action plan. As we just discussed in the activity, we just discussed before, there are many stakeholders when it comes to engaging volunteers to support your wellness action: school staff, local businesses, students, school board members, health departments, family, community, and faith organizations. Collaborating with all of these stakeholders can drive any program to be successful. These partnerships can really improve student learning by promoting consistent messages about healthy behaviors and provides access to additional resources and volunteers. So we can start with parent and family engagement. I mean, who feels like every day they have extra time? I'm sure some of you are raising your hands, hopefully, but this is really one barrier for parents, which is lack of time. To maximize parent engagement, schools should offer a variety of commitment opportunities like those on the slide. Parents and grandparents, siblings, and caregivers can support school health and wellness in many ways and at many levels. Let parents know exactly what's expected in terms of their time and the required activity, and they'll be way more likely to volunteer. Sometimes simple incentives, like we mentioned, can help to remove barriers and motivate them. So providing childcare, transportation passes, healthy refreshments, door prizes, etc. So the next slide, we are going to talk about how you can work with your PTA or PTO to actually support those healthy practices. There are many ways they can demonstrate their commitment to healthy schools and families. Sometimes you just really have to ask. So if your PTA is involved, many of your parents will follow. And listed on the screen are just a few ideas. Creating, so 3 strategies to maximizing parent engagement are listed on the screen. The first is creating a welcoming, inclusive environment throughout the school. Studies show that parents are more likely to support your work and get involved at any level if their input is valued and validated, and they perceive that their involvement is actually desired. The second is to educate and inform parents about school wellness initiatives. This is, could include the Action Healthy Kids Learning Connection and other school wellness opportunities. You can use a variety of written, verbal, face-to-face, or electronic methods. So understanding what works best for families you're trying to reach. And then lastly, build trust and share responsibility with parents to take action. Giving parents a voice, not just as participants, but also really as those leaders and decision makers, is what will bring your health and wellness initiatives sustainability for a long term. So don't just stop with your parents and families. Build those relationships with the community organizations to offer programming to your students and families, or even to find funding, donations, and volunteers. Many are eager for the opportunity to work with schools, so find out what programs they have in place already that will meet your needs. That's a lot easier than inventing something new. So a great place to really start engaging parents, families, community partners, and other volunteers is the Every Kid Healthy Week. Every Kid Healthy Week is our national annual celebration of schools' wellness achievements. The goal of Every Kid Healthy Week is to create nationwide momentum around school wellness. It takes place the last week of April each year, and it's a great way to build awareness around the need for healthy schools. Last year, over 1,000 schools hosted an Every Kid Healthy Week event around the country. So if your school if your schools are hosting existing events next April, why not make the focus be on healthy kids and families to help show them your school's commitment to wellness and really make your school shine? At this point in the Game On process, your school has done a lot. You've gathered your team, done an assessment and action plan, implemented activities, and engaged families in the greater community. Your school definitely deserves to be recognized for this effort. So that's why Step 6, Receive Recognition, focuses on applying for recognition through the Healthier U.S. School Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms Initiative. The Healthier U.S. School Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms Initiative is a national certification or recognition that recognizes schools for creating healthier environments through the promotion of nutrition and physical activity. Schools can schools can apply for various levels, and there's even a financial incentive for schools that have been awarded. So we'll just dive quickly into the Healthier U.S. School Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms. So what is this initiative? The Healthier U.S. School Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms is a voluntary initiative established in 2004, recognizing schools in the National School Lunch and School Breakfast program that have created healthier school environments through the promotion of nutrition and physical activity. And it really emphasizes developing lifetime healthy habits in schools that receive this award. You want to demonstrate to your community a commitment to school health and wellness. The certification lasts for 4 years, so schools receiving HUSIC FL, which is also known as, will commit to meeting the criteria throughout the 4-year certification period. There are 4 levels, which include bronze, silver, gold, and gold award of distinction. And there are a few quick requirements. They must meet meal pattern requirements, implement smarter lunchroom techniques, and then go above and beyond federal requirements for smart snacks and the local wellness policy. These are more closely discussed in our other mini webinars that are part of a series that you're welcome to look into. On the screen you can see an overview of the components of the Healthier U.S. School Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms application. The first is school nutrition. Schools must participate in the school breakfast program and national school lunch and meet USDA nutrition standards. The second is nutrition education, which is schools that must offer nutrition education to all grade levels as well as through multiple channels such as your classroom, in the cafeteria, or at home. Physical education, schools must offer at least 45 minutes of weekly PE to qualify for the bronze level. Physical activity, all students must have access to physical activity opportunities, so recess, intramural programs. The next one is local school wellness policy, which access implementation of your district's local school wellness policy must be in place. And then other criteria for excellence, which focuses on other areas related to school wellness, such as partner involvement, school nutrition, director training, and other certification levels. So Game On provides resources for each of these areas. So if you learn that you need to improve upon a certain area of the application, you can come back to Game On for resources, like I mentioned, those mini webinars, to ensure you meet the minimum requirement to apply. On the next slide, we're going to talk just quickly about why we should apply. We've listed a few ideas, and there's many benefits that awarded schools receive. You can see that there are monetary incentives. So award schools receive funding, which is great. Schools awarded with the bronze receive $500, silver schools receive $1,000, gold schools receive $1,500, and then gold award of distinction would receive $2,000. You also will build school spirit and create positive publicity, and that by receiving that positive national recognition and building school spirit, the Healthier U.S. School Challenge can increase support and momentum around wellness initiatives, which is great. And lastly, it also supports the learning connection, the connection between healthy eating, physical activity, and academic achievement. Research teaches us that healthy kids are better learners, so to continue to support that. And then finally, taking the challenge is a way for your school to be a leader in the efforts and to really end childhood obesity. So the link to apply for the Healthier U.S. School Challenge will be shared in the follow-up materials, so just to make note of that. If you're interested in learning more about the Healthier U.S. School Challenge, attend our webinar on Wednesday, November 18th with our guest presenter from the United States Department of Agriculture. We'll provide an overview of the application components and give you some tips for applying. We'll provide a link to the registration in the follow-up materials as well. We really hope you join us. And then follow us for more resources, and just stay tuned to what we are up to. Check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Flickr and YouTube pages. I know that was a lot that we went through, and we're at 3:02, so I just want to quickly ask if there's any questions, Ellen.
Yeah, we just have a couple. There was a little bit of a discrepancy in the date for the HUSIC webinar. You said it was the 18th, but it was listed as the 11th.
Oh, yes. It actually has been moved to the 18th. So what I said was correct, but on the screen it was the old screenshot. My apologies.
No problem. We just want to make sure everybody knows the right date. And then Elizabeth had a question about WellSat and program. And so the question was, which is the better tool to use and how are they used differently? Can you respond to that real quickly?
Between WellStat and the SHE?
And our assessment tool, our school health index tool?
Sure. So the WellStat is looking specifically at your wellness policies language. So are you suggesting someone to provide healthy snacks, or are you requiring it? Whereas the school health index is actually looking at your school environment and what's actually being implemented.
Got it. Great. Thank you. And then last question. Did you say that achieving an award level, say bronze for year one, that the school must maintain it for a specified period to be considered for the monetary award?
So you'll be awarded, or once you are awarded, you will get your monetary incentive, but yes, you are committing to 4 years of maintaining your actual award level. You still receive your money, but they do expect you to continue to stay at that level of health and wellness for 4 years.
Great. And that looks like all the questions thus far.
Great, perfect. So just to wrap us up, if you click to the next slide, thank you all so much for joining us. We will be sending out a follow-up email in 2 to 3 business days with the link to the recording and all the handouts that I mentioned. I'll also include the register link for the next webinar, which again is November 18th. So if you want to learn more about Action for Healthy Kids and how to get involved with our mission and our movement, please take the Every Kid Healthy pledge and help us create a 100,000 person movement to make all schools healthier places. It's only 10 seconds, so please help. Once you've signed on, we'll show you ways, big and small, that you can turn your commitment into action. So thanks again for all of your time, and have a great day.